All right, folks. I think we can get started. A very warm welcome to all the community members, and really glad you guys joined today. So we have a few items in the agenda, specifically four. So we are going to start off with the support for password update in Litmus CTL, and also the deleting and aborting a cute experiment feature that was added by Baalekshan. Then we are going to move on to the contributions by DongYoung Kim on making the pod logs more intuitive, and also some fixes that were done as part of the project creation where the default password wasn't really working as expected. And then we have the pod annotation support in Litmus Helm by Calvin Audier. And finally, we are going to hear from Shomo on the chaos exporter optimizations that were done to reduce the unnecessary reconciliations. So I think Shomo will join a little bit late. So we are going to start off with Balikshan. But before we move into the agenda items, I just wanted to give a quick heads up on the upcoming carnival we have, which is Chaos Carnival, that is scheduled for 22nd and 23rd of January. So the CFPs for the same are live, and this is going to be like a virtual event, so it should be accessible for everybody. So I'd urge the community to, submit the CFPs. It's on paper call. It's pretty simple. You can just click here and you can just fill up the request to speak. And we have two tracks. One is on chaos engineering. The other is on incident management. So you have up till 4th of November Indian time to fill this, and we'll be post that reviewing the submissions. So yeah, feel free to, spread the news and also apply for the same. But yeah, that's the announcement that I had for Chaos Carnival. Moving on to the first agenda item. So the floor is all yours, Barikshan.
So hi everyone. So my two contributions are one is the support for deleting or stopping the queue state experiment. So if a experiment gets stuck in the queue state, we can delete or rerun them. So this is one, and another one is adding the support for updating password from the Litmus CTL itself. So we can update our password from the Litmus CTL itself using Litmus CTL update password command. So one additional PR I have raised is, let me share it in the chat. So this PR checks for initial login case in the Litmus ETL and prompts the user to update their password if they are logging in for the first time. So that's all.
Okay, thanks, Barikshan, for your contributions. I'm sure we'll be gathering in and also reviewing the same. But yeah, thanks for your contributions. Cool. I think for the next item, we can move on to DongYoung Kim. Please, if you're here, you can go ahead and share. You're on mute, by the way.
Oh, okay. Um, Hi, my name is DongYoung Kim, and I'm mentee of open source contribution. So I'm here to talk about two issues. First is fail to get out log is not intuitive and fixes. Second is fixes on project creation using default password. Uh, the first issue, the issue with fail to get out log. This is because subscriber always return the same log to the user when he failed to get out log. It's not intuitive to the user as to why it failed to get the pod logs. So when subscriber cannot get out log, I want to get the experimental phase from graphic and output different log depending on the phase state. This is because the chaos experiment learn is the first to insert data, so subscriber can always get a consistent uh, phase. So I create query and input schema in Grapper and implemented it to reference get express learn. So this is result in a log output when the workflow part is not ready yet. Right is once the workflow part is ready, we can see it log as normal. Uh, but the problem still remains. I process express-learn phase by condition, but I'm not sure which log message will be the most intuitive for users.
I think
Uh,
Karthik or Nilanjan, if you have any input on this logs.
oh, okay. Oh, should you discuss on Slack?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And second issue is if you first install Litmus Chaos and connect the Litmus CTL to Chaos Center and then create a new project, it returns an error, but the project is actually created. The problem is handle the condition for the initial login, but does not handle the return, so the error is output, but the project is created. So I edit return code and handle the conditions separately and make it more readable. Yes, uh, the result, if I create new project after fixing that error, uh, the project creation fail with the error that the default password has not been updated as you show in the image. Yes, that's it. And thanks for listening my presentation. Yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much, DongYoung, for your contribution. I think this project fix is also for Litmus CTL, right? Not just for like this contribution is also in Litmus CTL, if I'm not wrong.
Uh, just Litmus repository.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, I think we can move on to the next item if nobody has any questions. Right. So the next one is the pod annotation support in the Litmus Helm by Calvin. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So let me quickly share my screen just to talk about this. So the contribution I did was related to pod annotation, both for the LitmusChaos Center and the Litmus agent. Let's say both were still having some older contribution related to that. So for the Litmus agent, there was a support for pod annotation, and there was also a variable to have a global pod annotation, so a pod annotation that would apply for every pod, but which was not used. So I only took this global variable to take it into consideration, so that when we deploy with Helm, we have the possibility to add a custom pod annotation only at one place instead of 5, because before we needed to do it one for chaos exporter, one for chaos operator. So it was quite repetitive. And the other one is more here for the chaos center, where there was an older contribution, a pull request, which was open around 2 years ago, which was implementing this type of pod annotation, but which was never updated. So I used the old pair and just make it up to date for this part. And for some context, the reasons all those pod annotation is, for example, in my company and probably over, pod annotation are used to track a lot of information, and we have some annotations which are required by our FinOps team. So that's why we need those custom element and annotation.
Got it. Okay. Is there any
And that,
specific use case that you're using for this, or
In what sense?
I mean, do you have any specific use case for this in a Litmus helm? That's why you are adding the annotations.
Yeah, since we are using Litmus Helm for the deployment, and we require those custom annotation, and that's why we needed, and she was just talking back to what was already existing because I was not the first one to
Mm.
start adding this support. I just continue it.
But
It's
yeah,
a continuation of other contribution.
yeah, makes sense. Okay, yeah, thanks for adding into the PR. Awesome. I guess we have the last topic on the chaos exporter. So I think Shoma is also here. So the topic was on the optimizations done to reduce the unnecessary reconciliations. So Shoma, if you're here, you can share your screen. Yeah.
Yep, thank you, Shan. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen. So this PR is on the Chaos Exporter. The changes are like it's going to be a pretty short update, but basically the changes are relating to the operation of how Chaos Exporter would update the metrics of the Chaos engines and the Chaos results. So previously, the logic of Chaos Exporter was a bit heavy on the Cube API server, as we would be syncing all the applications by polling the Cube API server every 1 second, and that had some limitations on pretty heavy load on the Cube API server. But with this change, what I have done is we are moving towards using shared informer. So instead of doing a direct poll, we will be using the shared informer library to get the list of chaos engines and chaos results from the cache. So we no longer will be directly polling the QBPay server, and that would basically result in a less load on the QBPay server. This also does some improvements on the actual reconciliation loops that we have. Like I mentioned previously, it was a 1 second loop, so we would sync all the engines and everything else to update the metrics every 1 second. But now with the implementation of the shared informer, we are doing it on an event trigger. So whenever there is a change in the state of a chaos engine or a chaos result, we will be updating the metrics at that point. And in case we miss an event or something, we have a 5 minute resync, which is configurable. So we can make sure that we don't miss any metric events also. So that is mostly it for the improvements. If there are any questions, I can take those.
Awesome. Karthik or Lanjan, if you have any feedback.
No specific feedback. That's a great change. Thanks, Shomo. Just curious if there was some benchmarking that you did, or maybe we can plan to see how much this has helped us.
Yeah, that is in plan. I'm talking with Shubham on this to help me out with a proper benchmark, because locally I've tested it, but it is like the difference isn't that visible because we don't have, like, I can't create that many resources to really put that kind of load on the system. So I'm talking with Shubham to see if we can do a stress test and see if there's any significant improvement with this approach.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I think that was it about all the agenda items you had. If anyone has anything to share, they can, or if anyone has any questions. Yeah, it was a pretty short meeting. This one was a list of short updates. But yeah,
Yeah, nice to see you. Shomo after a long time.
yeah. Shoma has
Exactly.
been one of the oldest contributors. So yeah, nice to see him again.
Absolutely nice to see you guys also. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, I guess if not, then that's it for this contrib meeting. I think the next one is on the 7th of November. So um, feel free to join that as well. And then we'll have some more updates on KubeCon, the upcoming KubeCon NA as well as KubeCon India. So we'll be sharing those pretty soon. But yeah, So that was it for this meeting. Thank you guys for joining. I guess we'll see you again on 7th. And feel free to share the CFP and the paper call link for Chaos Carnival and get the word out. So that really helps. Cool. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, everyone.